Good evening, and thank you for joining us here at GTYGO News. I'm Trent Smith.
And I'm Justen Warren.
And we're here to talk to you about a children's card game.
Spicy.
Meatballs. No, we're actually here to talk to you a little bit today about locals and maybe some of the experiences that you've had, I've had, she's had, you've had.
I've had.
I think I already said.
More pronouns?
I don't know.
What's a pronoun?
Who?
Yeah, we thought this was a subject that warranted talking about because not just the game and the meta and the chase that we all get after. The thing that we talk about probably the most is our locals experience immediately after we leave locals. We just kind of need to get it all out, and we thought, why not share that with you guys and also see what your locals experience is, if it's similar, what kind of stuff that you might experience that's...
No, and this isn't going to be just a video where we rag on a locals or our locals or anything like that.
No.
We did a little homework earlier today. We made a post in the Facebook group, asking a little bit about other people's experiences and maybe some of the pros and cons that they have within their locals. So
yeah.
Just to kind of jump right into it, I think we should start a little bit with the pros. For starters, I mean, you go the community. Yeah. I mean, you get to go see your boys, right?
Yeah, the communal aspect is something that that I think is very underestimated. Like, you're all there, different walks of life, which sounds like a cliche, but it truly is. You would not be there if it were not for this thing that we all play.
It's the one common denominator that we all have in common. I'm sure that there's other things that we have too, but
yeah.
But specifically, you're there to play Yu-Gi-Oh with other people, right? Like, we're all here to enjoy quote-unquote children's card game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you get out of the house, go see your boys, hang out. Your locals could be a hangout, a physical place, right?
Yeah.
You're getting out of your house. You're going to go do something. You get to play.
Yeah, besides just playing solitaire, which we all do, we want to take our deck lists. I mean, that's why tournaments and these things exist at all, because we want to see how they stack up, for better or worse. So the local space, the communal space, is a chance to do that and a chance to get schooled in every sense of the word, Like, that's how I start. Like, I came into it thinking, like, I know something about Yu-Gi-Oh! I didn't know anything about
Yu-Gi-Oh! Also, it's like a testing ground, too.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
Locals aren't going to be, as competitive as a regional or anything like that, but it's the next, I mean, it's literally it's a tournament you would have before regional. Like, there's no middle ground between an actual regional and locals, right? So there is a certain seriousness that you probably should take with it, and I mean, it is, again, just locals too, though, just to play devil's advocate. So it's kind of like, I don't know, it could go kind of a little bit back and forth with that one.
There's a lot to unpack there, but I think, as far as how to take it seriously and how far to take it, and again, everyone's experiences may vary, but I think that's something we'll get into here in a minute. It's
nice just to test out your deck versus other decks at the very least.
At the bare minimum, yeah.
So,
exactly.
Just get out there and see if your combos work, whatever.
Right.
You get to buy stuff, bro. You get to get cards. You can go buy another pro. It's huge. You can go buy sealed product, deck boxes, dice. Just depends again on your locals, but these places, just as a pro, you can get those things there. It's beautiful.
It is. I think. You have to find them online, and there's something truly, I think, to be said about touching them physically. Don't take that out of context. Wow. Don't do it.
Yeah. Again, talking about Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh my God. Back to it. Yeah, but no, there's something to be said, I think, about seeing the product all there and being able to, like Trent said, just get after the sealed stuff. And I do every time I go. I would roll the dice on a few packs because it supports a local business. And potentially helps me plus.
Yeah, if your OTS is a nice enough or good enough place that you feel inclined to support them, it goes a long way.
It does.
Just through some of the people I know that run stores, Anyways, Alex Bradshaw, my boy. There's a lot that goes into running a shop.
Yes.
And I mean, it's one thing also, just to say, it is one thing to view your locals through your eyes, but also think a little bit more about maybe how they view you through their eyes. It's a little bit of give and take, if you will.
It is, for sure. Because,
I mean, you could have, just a bitchin' awesome locals, but if everybody there's, a hyena or, a scumlord, rule shark, which, you know, we'll get into here.
We'll get into in the cons. Don't worry. Don't you worry.
Jaws. I'm sorry. Trades. Get the things you need. Get the cards that you need without having to buy them online, having to wait. The instant gratification, I think that you were touching on a little bit earlier, is kind of a big deal for some people.
It is for me, certainly, because, you know, you're hunting for that card that you can't quite build a card on TCG.
That young 20-cent card that you can't find in your bulk, but you need it because it's the part of the extender play you need.
Yeah,
for your combo.
It's the new hotness that everyone will be talking about. Did you hear about Battle of the Elements? Yo, that sends it all.
Yeah, Battle of the Elements, great card.
It did so well. We'll get out of here.
Have you read Exceed Encore?
I haven't.
Anyways, back to the cons of locals. Let's dive a little bit into maybe some of the negative aspects.
And again, just disclaimer: we don't want to unnecessarily shit on anybody.
No, this isn't specifically calling anybody out or any place for that matter.
No, we just keep coming to a place where these issues are recurrent and we need to talk about them.
And people also had mentioned that they had experienced these problems as well.
For sure.
So with that being said, we'll probably dive into the tournament either being poorly run, no judges, you know, ruling disputes, things of that nature.
Time not being kept.
Time not being kept is a huge deal with, I think, our new rules.
I think that's what has stressed me out recently with the new time change, which is a completely different video and topic. But that is like an undercurrent of stress that I'm dealing with. Like, are the shop owners keeping time?
Yeah. Are they going to give me? Are they going to give me a 4-minute, 5-minute, 10-minute warning?
Yes.
Am I going to find out that I just went mid combo for 10 minutes and that time had been called 10 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Will that happen? You know, it might. Yeah. Just that can be huge for people. Like if they don't know how to like set up the actual, you know, like brackets and the seating and things like that. It's a big deal. They don't know how to use the software or determine, you know, things like that can be a huge deal.
All these little things that add up to just a bad time, not just for everybody. And yeah,
absolutely. Another huge thing is they don't have product available. We had mentioned that as a pro, but as a con, what if you go to a locals and they don't have any packs for you to buy? They don't have, you know, mini sleeve or Yu-Gi-Oh size sleeves. You know, a lot of places have standard size because Magic the Gathering's a hell of a drug
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's fortunately, I think that we have some in-town options specifically to our case, but I know a lot of folks out there who maybe live in rural or even non-rural areas where just Yu-Gi-Oh is not happening for whatever reason.
Yeah, when it's hard to, when you want a hobby and your friends are into a hobby and you get passionate about it, it's hard to sustain it if you don't have a local flavor to help fund it. Or
access to it.
Yes.
Or if, you know, like there's kids out there, for example, or people or anybody who, you know, they don't want to make a PayPal or they don't trust people online or they don't know how all of it works. Yeah, I mean, I feel a little bad for them because it's great. I personally love it. But there's people out there that do, you know, they suffer because they don't have local access to Yu-Gi-Oh cards and the product.
For sure.
Another thing could be is if your locals doesn't prioritize you, or if they kind of just toss you aside, they really don't care about Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, it's a feeling I think that
it kind of goes a little bit with the product availability as well, I guess, because they probably won't have product if they don't prioritize you, right?
And just all these factors add up, and I think there's something to be said about a general, and this may sound a little bit hippy dippy, but the general vibe you get from a shop, you know, like what do you feel welcome? Do you are you being interacted with the staff? You know,
do they give two shits about you? Like, you know, do they seem genuinely interested in you or your well-being? You know, just little things. Exactly. You know, not even like I'm not sitting here and I'm not going to tell you that we're, you know, a pair of entitled, spoon-fed, silver spoon people that sit here. Oh, that's a different video?
That was a different video.
No, but yeah, I'm not trying to say that a locals has to cater to every single one of your needs or ask how you're doing or, you know, hey, how's the weather every single time you come in there.
Just the opposite. I hate small talk and we're here to play a game.
Yeah, but just little things, right? Just little, treat people how you want to be treated kind of deals, right? Yeah. You know, a little bit of the golden rule. Next on the list is, you know, you see the people you like, but you might see the people you don't like either at locals, if that's a thing for you. You Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know how much more you can say about that. Like, it's like high school or college, or if you're in middle school, whatever. Today, work. You go someplace and there's people you're gonna like, and there's people you're not gonna like. That's part of life, right?
I think so, and definitely part of the game, because as you get deeper and deeper into it, I mean, inevitably personalities clash. Yu-Gi-Oh! I would say, again, we have tons of topics for different videos. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a combative card game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're sort of vying and negotiating with your opponent and constantly communicating, and there are miscommunications. There's all these kinds of things that can lead to conflict, and
yeah,
there's something to be said about, do I want to go back to that?
Or if you have someone at your locals, for example, who's like a rule shark, or
sure,
I use the term kind of try hard, but and I mean, I'm not talking about the guy that's competitive, because we're all competitive if we're playing Yu-Gi-Oh, right? I'm talking about the guy that goes beyond an extra to the point of where he is wanting to lose relationships or friendships based on his actions and wanting to win that bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the key, I think, right? Like, it's the difference between being competitive and needing to win, because there's a different MO for both. If someone needs to win, there's some kind of insecurity underneath that, where they are interested in only that thing. Where if someone's competitive, I will not take back plays, for example. And I'm not like tooting my own horn, just if I commit to a play, I'm not gonna say, can I take this back? Even though the vibe might be chill, even though the local scene might be a little more...
You know your opponent, whatever.
Right.
But that's just your personal way of learning the game too, though, right?
Exactly.
So it's a little anecdotal, a little subjective, I suppose.
For sure, but it just leads into... If you want to be competitive...
If you want to be a master?
Yeah, if you have standards for yourself, and I feel like the person who just needs to win for their own insecure reasons, I don't think has that.
Sure.
You know?
Absolutely. And this is going to stem off into just a little minor section I wanted to get into tonight, because I think that we could do a whole video on this. I know I can.
Same.
Elitism in the community, or those guys that literally walk around. They can't be wrong. Their rulings are always right. Mm-hmm. Their uncle works for Konami, and they know the ban list.
Yeah.
They're going to tell you when it comes out. They know what cards to buy out.
Yeah.
They play on, $1,500 mat here, whatever, just things like that. And I'm not saying like having bad things or, hanging out with certain people in the community is a bad thing. I'm talking about those circles who like, oh, you play with those sleeves, you ingrate. Or you don't have a $1,000 calculator case, you are beneath me as a human being. Like those kinds of people, right? Like these people that are like, I have all this power, money, whatever they see in their heads. And I mean, I'm guilty of it sometimes too. I'm very fortunate enough to have access to people like Robbie and, talk to John and Zodiac and all that. I wouldn't trade it for us. I love it. I'm very appreciative of that. But you can see like some of the circles, and like, I'm not going to name drop anybody, but there's plenty of people, like if you just go in any of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Facebook groups, you can even see or even just like in your locals, there's this kid that's like, I can't lose. I play this deck and I'm the best because I play this deck and I spent this much money on this, so I am guaranteed the win.
Yeah, and that feeling, I think, is part of it too, right? Where when you feel like you're owed a win, that's a really unhealthy...
That's when you start encountering, I think, some major problems with competition, especially in something as cheeky or minute. I use minute, but as simple as a locals match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
for sure.
And I think that probably covers as much as I want to say about elitism before we build a whole...
Yeah, a whole series on this.
I think that we could do a whole video series on elitism.
If you guys want, because I'm curious what other people's locals experiences too.
I think we owe them a deck profile, so I will step up to the plate on that one and probably do some Thunder Swaggins after this weekend. Going to St. Louis with my boy CJ. So see how that goes. I might actually play this weekend too.
You should.
I suck balls, but
this format is maybe healthier without firewall, so there's something to be said.
I can't wait to get Cumblard for 6, Dad. Oh, Rongo Bongo. Thanks, fam. Yeah, seems great. I can't wait. So, is there anything else that you have to say about the topic? I didn't come up with an outro, so we can't redo this because it's 15 minutes long. I'm not going to retake this.
I think the last thing I want to say, and please chime in, and everybody too, what I've kind of decided with, and my locals experience has been specific to here in Bloomington, so I'm speaking from this for all angles. But I think that the players determine the space. Yes. Obviously, there's something to be said about the shot maker.
That's a great point. Yeah. Yes, let's end on that. You are the community, and you, I would say, make it what it is.
Yes.
It is on you to get a hold of your locals owner, talk to them, try to introduce yourself. Go and take the judge test. It's not that hard. If you can't pass that new written test, you have no business even playing this game. I'm just going to be real honest with you.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. It's
just little things. It is what you make of it, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to. I don't want us to come off as being some elitist jerks that are like, oh, we need this in our locals. These are just things that like maybe you guys could take home with you to your locals and like bring up to other folks in your community or your shop owners and be like, hey, could we do this or this? But ultimately, it starts with you.
Yeah, because however small or big the community is that you have, you are the ones with the voices. Again, all the millions of tons of respect for shop owners and people out there who are putting a business and a space and an edifice out there to attract all these people in. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, I think the players decide the tone of your locals, and that's why we had to talk about this video, because in this video about these things, because these are things that we've noticed, and the players have taken the space and what we've noticed, these pros and cons. So yeah.
Yep. Well said. Yep. It's up to you guys. The power is yours. Go Planet.
Go Captain Planet.
Captain Planet.
Oh, we did copy strike for the Planet.
I copied your strike.